patrol car rolled up to the curb with a sharp chirp of the siren, even though there was no traffic to stop. Just a quiet city street at dusk, a few people walking home, and one black man in a wheelchair waiting patiently at the crosswalk. "Hey, you can't just sit there like this," the officer barked, stepping out and slamming the door. "What is this, a parking spot now?" Marcus Reed looked up slowly, hands resting on his wheels, the fading sunlight catching the tired strength in his eyes. "I'm just waiting for the light," he said calmly, "same as everyone else." The officer snorted and took a step closer, boots heavy on the sidewalk. "Sure you are," he said. "Funny how just waiting always looks like loitering when you people do it." What Officer Ryan Baxter didn't know was that the man he was mocking in public, in uniform, in full view of the city, was the mayor's only son.
Before we continue, if stories like this make you believe respect should never depend on race, status, or ability, tap like, share this video, and subscribe to Black Justice so more people can hear these powerful lessons and stay with us to the end of this narration. It helps the channel grow and keeps these stories alive. Your support helps us keep telling stories that matter. Now back to the story.
Marcus felt every set of eyes on them now. A couple walking past slowed down. A teenager across the street quietly lifted her phone, recording from the corner. "I'm not doing anything wrong," Marcus repeated, keeping his voice steady. "The sidewalk's public. The crosswalk's public." Officer Baxter folded his arms. "You blocking pedestrians, waiting for trouble, who knows?" he said. "What's in the bag on your lap?" "Huh?" Looked suspicious. Marcus glanced down at the simple backpack strap, looped around his knees. "My laptop," he said, "and some folders. I just left a community meeting at City Hall." Baxter smirked. "Oh, City Hall," he said, dragging out the words. "Let me guess. You're some big, important guy, right?" "Everyone's important these days." "Got ID?" Marcus nodded. "Yes, in my pocket." "I'll take it out slowly." He moved carefully, aware of every sharp breath and every watching eye. He handed it over his wallet. Baxter snatched it and flipped it open. "Marcus Reed," he read. "Address, phone, blah, blah. You know, Marcus, I pull people like you aside all the time. Always some story, always some excuse. You think the chair means I can't question you." "No," Marcus answered. "I think the badge means you should treat people with basic respect." Each word made the sidewalk feel smaller. Baxter's jaw tightened. "Watch your tone," he said coldly. "I decide what respect looks like here." Behind them, a bus pulled up, brakes hissing. Two passengers stepped off, pausing when they noticed attention. One of them whispered, "Is he bothering that guy in the chair?" The teen with the phone kept filming, hands trembling just a little, but holding the frame. Marcus noticed a name tag pinned to the officer's chest. Baxter. Just below it, the city's crest, the same crest carved above the doors of City Hall, where a portrait of his father hung on the wall outside the mayor's office. "Officer Baxter," Marcus said slowly. "I complied with everything you asked. I gave you my ID. I told you where I came from. I'm not causing a disturbance." Baxter leaned in. "The disturbance," he said, "is you parked here like the rules don't apply. Maybe you're used to people feeling sorry for you. I don't." Marcus swallowed hard. The word stung more than he wanted to admit. "I didn't ask for pity," he replied softly. "Just fairness." Baxter rolled his eyes and grabbed his radio. "Dispatch, this is Unit 12, he said. "Got a subject at 4th and Main, resisting clear instructions to move along. Running an ID check now." Marcus's heart sank. "I never refuse," he started, but Baxter held up a hand. "Quiet," he snapped. "You talk when I say you can talk." The girl across the street whispered to her friend. He wasn't resisting. "I got all on video." Her screen glowed with Marcus's calm face and Baxter's hard stare. A crackle came through the radio. "Unit 12, be advised," dispatch said. "Confirm subject name?" Baxter glanced at the ID again. "Marcus Reed," he repeated impatiently. "Male, black, in a wheelchair." There was a pause. "Copy," dispatch answered. "Stand by, Unit 12. Do not escalate. Repeat, do not escalate. Supervising officer en route. Baxter frowned. "What's this about a supervisor?" he muttered. "Over a sidewalk stop?" He looked at Marcus suspiciously. "You call someone?" he demanded. "You know somebody up there at City Hall?" Marcus met his gaze evenly. "I know that how you treat people when you think nobody says more about you than your badge does," he said. Baxter's nostrils flared. "You think that little speech impresses me?" he shot back. "Here's the truth. If you people just did what you were told, we wouldn't have so many problems." Marcus let the words hang in the air. He didn't argue. He didn't shout. He just held Baxter's stare, steady and unshaken. He didn't raise his voice. He raised the truth without saying another word. A sleek black car turned the corner, then city insignia on the side. It pulled up behind a patrol car, and a man in a suit stepped out, ties slightly loosened, expression stormy but controlled. Mayor David Reed. "Unit 12, this is Supervisor Carlin." A new voice crackled over the radio. "Hold your position." Baxter blinked, looking from the car to the man to the ID in his hand. "No way," he muttered. The mayor's eyes went straight to his son. "Marcus," he said, walking quickly to his chair. "Are you all right?" The murmurs from the sidewalk grew louder. The girl with the phone lowered it slightly, eyes wide. Marcus gave a small, weary smile. "I'm okay, Dad," he said quietly, just waiting for the light. Baxter stared between them, color draining from his face. "Dad," he stammered. "Sir, you're—" Mayor Reed finally turned to him, gaze sharp. "Officer Baxter," he said, voice like ice under control. "Care to explain why you're detaining my son on a public sidewalk while describing him as a disturbance?" Baxter swallowed. He looked suspicious, sir," he said. "Just sitting, blocking the way. I was following protocol." "Protocol?" the mayor repeated. "Is mocking a man in a wheelchair part of your protocol? Is assuming my son is a problem because he's black part of your training?" Baxter opened his mouth, but nothing came out. The supervising officer, Carlin, arrived on foot, having parked around the corner. He approached quietly, eyes taking in the scene. The patrol car, the mayor, the crowd. "Mr. Mayor," Carlin said respectfully, "I just heard the dispatch call. We can take it from here." Mayor Reed nodded once, but kept his eyes on Baxter. "My son has every right to wait for the crosswalk," he said, without being humiliated, accused, or spoken to like he's less than human. Carlin turned to Baxter, face set. "Officer Baxter, radio and body mic are recording," he said. "Is there anything you'd like to amend or clarify before we review the footage and civilian videos?" Only then did Baxter notice the phones. 2, 3, for people now, clearly recording. The teen across the street raised her hand slightly. "I got everything," she said, from when he rolled up to when the mayor arrived. Baxter's shoulders sagged. I didn't know who he was," he muttered. Mayor Reed's reply was quiet but devastating. "That's the problem," he said. "You only think respect is owed to people you recognize." The silence that followed was heavy. Carlin exhaled. "Officer Baxter, you are relieved of duty pending investigation," he said firmly. "Hand over your badge and weapon. You'll be placed on administrative leave while we review your conduct and previous complaints." Baxter stared at him. "Previous complaints?" he echoed weakly. Carlin nodded. "Yes. This isn't the first time your behavior has raised concerns," he said. "But it may be the last time you wear this uniform if the evidence says what I think it will." Hands shaking, Baxter removed his badge and handed it over. The crowd shifted, some murmuring, some silent. Marcus watched, not with triumph, but with a deep, tired sadness. "Dad," he said softly, "I don't want a spectacle. I just want change." The mayor looked at his son, eyes softening. "That's exactly what we're going to push for," he replied. "Not just for you. For everyone who doesn't have a title or a father in office to step in." He turned to the small crowd. "I'm sorry any of you had to witness this," he said. "And I'm even more sorry that many of you are probably not surprised. We will be reviewing training, discipline, and oversight starting today. No one should have to rely on connections to be treated with basic respect." The teen lowered her phone. "I'll send you the video," she said quietly to Marcus. if it helps. He smiled. It does, he answered. Thank you. The light at the crosswalk finally changed. The little walking figure glowed white. Let's go home, Marcus said. The mayor gently took hold of the back of his son's chair, guiding him forward. As they crossed, the patrol car sat still, but reflecting the same light that seemed so harsh moments ago. Somewhere behind them, Officer Baxter stared at his empty chest, suddenly exposed without the shield he'd misused. Later that night, the footage appeared online and on local news. A man in a wheelchair being dismissed and mocked, a crowd watching, a mayor arriving not as a politician first, but as a father. Commentators talked about training, accountability, and systemic change. But for Marcus, the most powerful part wasn't the cameras or the headlines. It was a simple reminder that dignity should not depend on who's watching or who someone is related to. Because at the end of the day, uniforms and titles fade, and respect costs nothing but means everything.
If this story touched your heart or made you think about how we treat each other, take a moment to subscribe. Your support helps us share more Black justice stories that inspire change, spark awareness, and remind the world what dignity truly looks like. Share and leave a comment. Your voice helps bring these stories to life and keeps the message alive. Your voice matters here,